Hello everyone, this is Akash. I'm a student from University of North Texas, and I'm pursuing masters in data science. And I've done reading notes on an article called "Data Mining and Knowledge Discovery in Solid Waste Management." So I want to present my reading notes on the same. So let's get this started. So today we'll explore all the key concepts and insights that the article presented. By the way, this is not my article. I'm not claiming it. I have also given the references for the article at the end of the slides, which I'll present. So this is a research conducted by Janina Lopez and other authors, many other authors, with so many references, over 60 articles from other sources like Web of Science. So, and they've done a pretty good research about the solid waste management using two techniques called knowledge discovery in databases and data mining. So, using these techniques, they've gathered a very good future insights, which will help future generations to perfectly manage and organize the solid waste management. So the focus of this article obviously is optimization of waste collection and transportation stages. And there are some challenges that the authors faced while doing the analysis. Some of them are availability of the data and quality of the data, and uh, and the evolving nature of waste management and resource limitations. So apart from these challenges, the authors did a pretty good research, which gave so many insights, which I will present at the end of the reading notes from what I've gathered. And key concepts of the techniques that they used in the solid waste management analysis. So uh, here KDD and DM means knowledge discovery in database and data mining. So we will use these short forms for the rest of the presentation. So the key concepts are waste generation predictions. So it is it is a prediction of the amount of data which is crucial in planning and organizing the management systems, even in the databases. And the second thing is data mining algorithms, which will the better the algorithm, the better the valuable insights we can extract. And strategies include transportation strategies, so they can optimize the routes and uh, plan ahead and schedule the transportations, which will uh, which will be helpful in cost cutting management. Uh, the third thing is environmental impacts, and how all these waste management techniques will impact the environment, and if there are any future consequences such as greenhouse gas emissions or pollutions while transportation, and the energy consumed while transportation and machine using of the machineries. So these are the key concepts that the author focused on. Coming to design and strategy, the authors used the authors utilized PICOC, which means Population Intervention Comparison Outcome and Context Protocol, and also they used Prisma protocol. which is an abbreviation of preferred reporting items for systematic reviews and meta-analysis. These two protocols are widely used for research articles and analysis, which the authors used as well. And coming to the data that they've gathered from, they've accessed so many articles which were all referenced. The articles were over 60 in the count, and most of them are from Web of Science, and the data specifically ranges from 2015 to 2020, covering around 6 years. So, so the analysis. Let's come to the analysis and the qualitative and quantitative methods they've used to predict the trends and give insights. The solid waste management using these two techniques, KDD and DM. Those were the strategies and research designs that they've used. And the article also provided with major findings, which I've noted down. And most of the findings they presented were in visual form. Cannot show the data now, show the article now because we usually need permission for that, which I cannot just show them in this video. But there are so many charts and visual infographics which gave so many insights uh, for better communication and descriptive information. So some of the major findings are scarcity of solid waste management studies. What does it mean? So it means how they focused specifically on future studies, and they've also discussed a lot of research methods that the future analysts can use when going through the same techniques, going through the same studies. So they've analyzed and discussed so many better methods that we can use to gather data or uh, gather quality and quantity data and prepare strategies for it. And uh, they've also they have also given so many citations and references. Like I said, there are over 60 articles that they've used, 60 to 80 articles that they've used that the authors used uh, before analyzing these data and giving this providing us this article. The study was referenced by around 60 to 80 uh, authors, different authors, and their studies as well. So going to the next part, what they've contributed. So they've contributed so many techniques and discussions. Some of the techniques are uh, like we already discussed. The techniques that they used were ADD and DM uh, to effectively manage solid waste management in the future. And they've also done this using discussions and exploration discussions. So they've helped us providing better insights for the future studies that we can do. And that was a major contribution of this whole article that they've done. So, like I said, uh, the research the research is for future studies and discussions. The whole research major contributions of the research is mostly focused on future researchers that might be done in the future by other students or business personals. or the governments to better manage solid waste while transporting them and collecting them. So what I assessed from the whole research, uh, I've gathered all the reading notes and I've noted all the assessment that I've done. Um, so let's go one by one. So the readability, let's talk about the readability. The article is well structured. With a little familiarity, one can perfectly understand the article and their findings. Second thing is objectives. The objectives were clearly mentioned and uh, they've used a systematic literature review, so it will be understandable for every person out there, no matter their background. And the originality in exploring uh, with these techniques. So, the originality in this article adds an adds value for this article because the authors haven't used uh, any references for these techniques. All the analysis were done by them themselves. Only they've used the date. Only they've used references for data sources. So yeah, and even the analysis is appropriate and relevant to the data and or goals. For example, the solid waste management, they've successfully focused on analyzing that part and creating strategies for it. So it was well constructed and the findings and insights were very valuable. Let's move on. So the methodologies they used, like I said, they used two protocols to ensure readability and transparency, especially Prisma protocol, which validates all the selection of the analysis. And then there's reliability and validity. Uh, like I said, Prisma protocol itself validates so much when using the data uh, from different sources. So, and they've also done it in available literature. So, uh, and they've also used systematic literature review, like we discussed in previous slide, which was a industry standard for all the authors out there in data source selection. So they've used data from mostly Web of Science core collection databases and from the period of 2015 to 2020, and they focused on these relevant data sets that they found on this website. So future researchers, future, one might be interested in researching again. So the author made sure that this study of them were perfectly helpful for future researchers, and it has long-term impacts on developments in waste management. And they've also considered the uh, scope, expanding scope of solid waste management and developments of solid waste management, such as solid waste treatment and disposal. Usually, solid waste gets disposed uh, either in soil if organic, or they get dumped in the big lands, uh, usually called dump yards. So they've given a comprehensive understanding on how these techniques that they've used can address different stages of waste management. Yeah. So what I've learned from these data is the main thing that I've learned from these data is because it is very factual and real world data. I've learned that China, the country China, uh, has a very large portion of the data analyzed. Around 15% of the data comes from China. Similarly, India as well, the major contribution in the data set. So this suggests that the insights and improvements in waste management in these two countries, especially China and India, in these two countries, if successfully done, implemented, and found valuable insights in them, it can benefit the rest of the world as well, which I found very fascinating because of the concentration of people and collection of waste that they produce. So many small countries add up only to 9% of the data, whereas China adds up to around 15% of the data. The study also forecasted analysis of the data to predict future waste generation patterns, and this approach contributed to efficient and sustainable waste management strategies. So, while going through the article, I've also had some questions that I wanted to discuss, uh, if possible. So, one of my question is, can the use of uh, these two techniques and other methodologies used in the article, uh, also address other specific aspects too, such as, such as solid waste treatments and disposals. They've done only in solid waste collection and transportation. So I wanted to know how these two techniques, how or if these two techniques can be helpful in disposal and waste treatments as well. And the second question that I have is, there are constant developments in waste management even to this date. This is 2015 to 2020. This is data from 3 years ago. So did they consider uh, those techniques would be helpful for the long term? For example, if in 2023 if done uh, using additional data with the latest data using the same techniques, would they be able to get similar uh, analysis, or would they be able to address the same strategies that they've addressed in the article even to this date? That's the second question that I have. So yeah. Oh, this is the references for the article. So it was done by around 5 to 6 authors, over 5 authors, and this can be found in Sage Journals website called Sage Journals. It was published in 2021. Uh, and this article specifically you can find in volume 39 and issue 11. I've also given the DOI. By the way, you need permission to access the this article, which was in Sage Journal. I got my permission from my university. I got my access from my university. So yeah, and that's it. Thank you so much for joining this presentation. I hope we all gathered some insights and If this is any way helpful for you, please comment down in the comment section. Let me know if there's anything that I should add in my reading notes. Thank you.